Incorporation of a company. In a commercial setup for large-scale trade, the formation of company is the most suitable arrangement. Company possesses artificial personality. Its legal personality does not automatically come into existence. A company comes into existence after having complied with the provision of the Companies Act, registration of necessary documents, and completion of the legal procedure. The person who established such artificial legal personality are known as promoters. The company word has no strictly technical or legal meaning. Under the British common law, company is legal person or legal entity. It is separate from the capable of surviving beyond the lives of its members. Definition of company under the Company Act 2013. Company means a company incorporated under the Companies Act 2013 or under any previous company law. Characteristics of company. Any incorporated company must have the following characteristics. First, independent corporate existence. Here the company is regarded as a legal person having entire distinct personality independent from its member. Second is limited liability of company's members. The company begins separate legal person and it is a owner of its assets and bound by its liabilities. Member as a whole are neither the owner of the company's undertakings nor liable for its debts. So no member is bound to contribute more than the nominal value of the shares held by him. However, company with unlimited liabilities can be formed. Third, perpetual existence. A company is defined as an artificial person, so it is not subject to death or illness of any of its members. Fourth, separate property. Being separate legal person, company is capable of owning, enjoying and disposing of property in its own name. No shareholder of a company can claim his right over the property of the company. Fifth, transferability of share. According to Article of Association of a company, the share of a company can be transferred. Sixth, capacity of the company to sue and be sued. Now, a company being a legal person, that means in the eye of a law, it's a artificial person, so anybody can sue on the company and the company can also sue on the other company or an individual person, the one who breaks any of the contracts. Seventh, professional management. The corporate sector is capable of attracting the growing cadre of professional managers. Eighth, finance. Normally, an incorporated company comes into existence on the capital raised by public subscription either from share or debenture. That means finance or the capital comes into existence only by having the shares or debentures from the public. The following procedure is followed for incorporation. First, preliminary stage. Second, incorporation stage. First, preliminary stage, that is the promotion stage of a company. In this stage, the concept of the idea of setting up a company and the primary and extensive investigation of the feasibility of the idea, the requirement of the source and the capital, these things are to be seen. So the promotion of the company can be considered through following steps. First, the idea for the promotion of a company or business. Company is known as brainchild of promoters, because the idea is the seed of a business and the promoter who conceives the idea uses his imagination and creativity to give it a concrete form, and he is also ready to bear many risks. Now he converts his idea into implementation by mobilizing manpower, materials and capital resources to carry out the business. Second is preliminary investigation. After seeing to the ideas and its possibility, how to get the capital and everything, then the expert also find out the expenditure and the income, and one estimation is being done, and if they find that the result is satisfactory, then they go for the further survey. Third step is extensive investigation. There can be an adverse result if thorough investigation is not undertaken. Government policies, legal provision, the raw materials, the demand supply, then your auxiliary services, these are all to be checked carefully. Once the picture is clear, and then it will help us to decide whether to proceed the plan and to establish a company or not. Next step is mobilizing the resources. If we are satisfied with the first three steps, then we think about how to get the equipments, machinery, tools, land, and the necessary correspondence, contracts, and formalities will be undertaken so that we can proceed with the project. Fifth stage is arrangement of finance. Now already we discussed that we will be getting capital, and we have discussed also which sources and all. Now we have to get that capital, that is the finance, so that for the promotion expenses the money is needed. The type of activity and the amount of funds required by the company as well as the source of capital will be considered finally in this stage. The first stage, that is the preliminary stage, is over. Now we are going to second stage, that is incorporation stage. After the preliminary stage, now we are planning to have our certificate of incorporation of the company. Now to take that, we have to go for the further steps. Now for a company, we have limited members, the share transfer is restricted, and so company can start functioning once the certificate of incorporation is obtained. Private as well as public company needs the following document in order to get the certificate of incorporation. First, Memorandum of Association, MOA. Now this is the basic document of the company. The details, the clause mentioned in it define the scope of activities of the company. Now it includes the name of the proposed company, its objective, address of its registered office, the capital and the liability of its member. Now it established a relationship between the company and the third parties. MOA is one of the most important basic and primary requirement of every company. So MOA states the type of a business the company wants to undertake in. Second is AOA, Article of Association. The document defines the rules and regulation for the internal management of the company. It states the company's policies and means of achieving the objective determined in the MOA, that is Memorandum of Association. Third is list of directors. The list of the names, address, age, occupation, nationality, etc. of a person who takes the responsibility of the work as directors has to be prepared and submitted before the registrar of the companies as per the Company Act. There have to be at least one woman director for certain companies among the list of directors decided by the Company Act. The fourth is written consent and the affidavit of the directors. Now the subscriber or the director has to give a written consent to the registrar that he has taken the responsibility as a director willingly. Moreover, the subscriber and the first director has to file affidavit before the registrar of company containing the following facts: that he has not been convicted for any offence, he has not been found guilty or fraud, the information supplied by him to the registrar of companies are correct and complete. Fifth, declaration. A declaration is a prescribed form. Now it has to be signed by the advocate or chartered accountant, cost accountant, or company secretary in practice, whoever is involved in the formation of the company, and also signed by the person named in the article of association of the company as a director, manager or secretary of the company. Sixth is disclosure of interest in other firms or company. Now, if the directors, subscribers, manager or secretary are also associated with other firm or company, they have to give information regarding their association. So we learned in the procedure for incorporation of company, we have to first finish up with the preliminary stage, then we must complete our incorporation stage. Now the last is certificate of incorporation. After payment of prescribed registration fees and verification of the document, if the registrar finds that the documents which we have submitted is satisfactory, he registers them and enters the name of the company in the register of companies. Once this process of entering the name in the register of company is over, the registrar issues a certificate called Certificate of Incorporation. Now the life of the company starts from the date mentioned in the Certificate of Incorporation. Now the registrar of the company issues certificate of incorporation with corporate identity number CIN. This identification number is of company which is incorporated in certification of incorporation. The company has to prescribe the identity, original document and information till liquidation at company's registered office. I hope you understood how to get the certificate of incorporation.